So we will have Amendment 21.2 and a call, I think, Janine Booth. Janine.
Janine Booth, City of Leicester. Conference. This amendment adds to and strengthens the motion. It updates the position regarding the ban on Palestine action, which the court has declared unlawful and which the government must now rescind. It opposes the government's decision to extend the Public Order Act to criminalise people protesting at life sciences locations. One example of this is Camp Beagle in Huntingdonshire, a protest camp outside a facility which breeds and supplies over 2,000 beagle puppies a year to laboratories for testing. Whatever your opinion on animal testing, there is no way that this is key national infrastructure as the government now defines it. And this amendment draws attention to the criminalisation of climate protesters. I want to tell you about a young man named Joe. Joe is autistic. He has mental health problems. Because of this, he lives in supported accommodation. Joe also cares about the world and has attended meetings about climate campaigning. In June 2024, when Joe was 22, half a dozen police officers barged into his flat and arrested him on suspicion of conspiracy to disrupt key national infrastructure. They held him in a cell for 8 hours. This was part of a coordinated swoop on climate activists around the country. The police released Joe on bail with conditions barring him from going to an airport, encouraging others to protest at an airport, going to any meetings about protesting at airports, and being in a group of people that could be reasonably construed as planning to protest at an airport. Bail is for 3 months, and the police are allowed to extend it twice if they need more time to collect evidence. They extended Joe's bail twice despite having no evidence. After 9 months on bail, the police finally had to drop the case. But the very next day, another half a dozen police officers banged on Joe's door and arrested him again, this time on suspicion of conspiracy to cause a public nuisance. They held him all day again and took his work phone, resulting in him being suspended from work for 2 weeks. This time his bail conditions barred him from entering the City of Westminster and allowed him to take part in protests only on pavements, not on the road. Again they extended his bail, then extended his bail again. Joe spent a total of 18 months on bail with restrictions on his movements and his right to protest. The police told Joe that he's still under investigation. At no point in this entire process did the police reveal any evidence against Joe. They don't have any evidence that he had done anything wrong because he hadn't done anything wrong. They never had a case against him, but used and abused their arrest and bail powers to intimidate him and stop him protesting. As a result of his ordeal, Joe now has PTSD symptoms. Joe's arrest took no account of his living in supported accommodation. The police do not even have a protocol for arresting people in supported accommodation, no rules to ensure that their person's dignity, rights and health are protected. This abuse of police powers is disgraceful and could be used against any of us or our families. Joe, conference, Joe is my son. Please support this amendment.
Thank you, Janine. I call Kuldip Hoonjan to second. Kuldip.
Good morning, President. Conference. Let me start with the facts. This amendment adds to conference notes 4 clear recent developments. A High Court ruling on the 13th of February 2026, which made clear that the government's attempt to ban Palestine action was unlawful. The arrests of climate campaigners across 2024 and 2025, not just at protests, but at meeting in their home, even in supported accommodations. The repeated extension of bail, despite no evidence being found, and the expansion of the Public Order Act 2023, widening restrictions on where protests can take place, including so-called life-size infrastructure. There seems a concerning pattern of increasing restrictions taking away our democratic rights. This amendment asks conference to recognize that police powers, particularly arrest and bail, are being used in ways that go beyond enforcement, instead risk being tools of intimidation. Let's think about this logically. If individuals are arrested without charge, if their bail is extended again and again, if no evidence is ever found, then what is the outcome? The outcome is not justice, the outcome is deterrence. People are discouraged from protesting, not because they're guilty. It instructs us to demand that the government respect the High Court ruling and end the ban on Palestine action. Because the rule of the law must apply to government as well as citizens, it calls for the repeal of Public Order Act 2023. Because a right is constantly narrowed, is eventually no right at all. And it demands something very simple, but very vital, that police adopt clear, humane protocols for arrest in supporting accommodation. Because no one should feel fear or intimidation in the place they live, especially those already in vulnerable situations. Because the process itself becomes a punishment, this amendment does not weaken the motion. It gives it weight, credibility, and truth. Conference, please support this amendment. Thank you.
Thank you, Kuldip.